Welcome to the 14th of June 2020, week 24 of Profit Trader, going from $5,000 to $200,000. Sadly, this week has been an appalling week. We are down $15.19. That's a loss of 0.26%. Before we continue with the video, I'd like to stress that I'm not a financial advisor. I'd like you to pause and read this disclaimer and warning. After you've read them and agree, please continue. Once again, we're using Profit Trader on the Binance Exchange. The base crypto is USDT and we're trading Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Litecoin, EOS and ADA. Sadly, this week's been a terrible week. We are down to $5,800 in the bot. It was a slow start to the week. We did have a few sales and a bit of profit. There was then a price correction in Bitcoin and altcoins, leaving me holding some bags, so waiting for those to sell. Possibly I've overextended myself with DCA. We'll look at that in a second. As we can see here, the beginning of the week, there was not very much movement within the Bitcoin or altcoin market at all. Little bit of a rise just before there was a big price correction, and all altcoins and Bitcoin fell quite significantly. We then continued on a sort of sideways movement, hardly any upward movement at all, towards the end of the week, which is this arrow here. So this is why the bot was very slow this week and why I ended up holding bags, because of this price correction. So let's look at some of the statistics within Profit Trader for this week. The total current value stands at 5,800. Monday we had no sales. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, things started picking up just before that price correction. And then Saturday and Sunday we've had no sales. That meant we're down $15.19 from last week, or in real figures $178.64, because that's the profit we should have made, or we were looking to make for the last week. We can see here I've got a few bags, 4 bags, Litecoin, Ethereum, XRP and ADA. ADA hasn't purchased a second time, although it is down 8.33%. I do still have money in the bot to purchase that if need be. But as far as the others go, I've got an insufficient balance because I've already doubled down once on XRP. Ethereum and Litecoin I've doubled down twice. So these minus 5.28 and minus 4.71 would have been a lot higher, but the doubling down has brought that cost of the coin down somewhat, so I don't have to climb such a big hill to get out of this bag. When they do sell, and they should sell, when Bitcoin and the alt markets start to rise again, I'll be looking at some tasty profits for certainly those top two, and about $10 or $12 for XRP. So let's look at my results spreadsheet. As you can see here, I've put the $5,829 in. That meant we are down around $15 from last week. That does mean that our doubling has been pushed back now to week 46, or the 15th of November. I was going to be adding some extra funds in for BNB coins, but seeing as I still have 6 point something BNB in the bot for fees, I won't be adding that in. I mentioned earlier about my insufficient balance. It is very important that you get the balance right within Profit Trader. The balance being how many pairs you purchase, the initial cost you purchase for those pairs, and do you leave yourself some money in your bot to cope with buying DCA when there's a market correction. In this case, clearly, I haven't got that balance right. We can see that by this insufficient balance error or warning on these 3 pairs. The tuning is done within the config section. First off, you would need to look at your pairs config and look at how many max trading pairs you've got. I've got 5. And you need to look at these 2 figures here, or these 2 areas here. The default initial cost is set to 0, which means it's using the next one, which is the default initial cost percentage of 8%. I then need to look in the DCA side of things, and I need to look at how many times a pair will be allowed to DCA. But more importantly, where I've made a bit of a mistake, or I should say I've been too greedy, the first initial DCA will buy 100% of the coin. The second DCA will also buy 100% of the coin. I changed that from 75 to 100, and I changed this third one from 50 to 75. So I've overextended my bot. Although I still have $517 in the bot, it does mean that unfortunately the only one it could double up on is this ADA one. And as we can see over here, that's got a purchase value or current value of $426. So as I've got $500 in my bot, yes, it could buy that a second time. So what are my options here? I have to wait now until these sell. So I'll have to wait until the market goes up by 5, 6 or 7% before these three will actually sell. If I could actually DCA the XRP down again and buy 100% of the coin or 75% of the coin, this negative 6% would come down to, I'm not going to do the maths, but -3, -4%. So it would mean that the market would only have to go up by, say, 5%, opposed to just over 7% now in order for this to make a sale. I'm just hoping that the markets will bounce back fairly soonish and these will sell. I have another option, which means I could sell these for a loss, which I tend not to do. Another option might be to put more money in the bot to enable me to double down again on these. Again, something I'm not really willing to do. I'd like to see where we get to with these in the coming week. So it is a balancing act when you set up your bot between how many pairs you operate, the initial cost of the coin, and how much DCA you want to be able to go down to. So when you do hold a bag, you can get out of those bags quicker. Thank you for watching as I take my 5,000k bot to 200,000k. Let's hope we get a better week next week, and let's hope those bags sell. So next week we'll do a weekly bot update again, and I've been a little bit behind on doing my USDT bot setup, but we'll aim to do that next week as well. Thank you again.